It's W.I.T.C.H!
Hey, you wanna see something cool?
Akari. Hey! What the heck? Akari. Oh, the title call. This video is...
Don't forget to subscribe! Where darkness reigns, we got the power to fight back. We save the day, united, 5 as one. We can become more than we know. The heart will lead the way to what we can control. Water, fire, earth, and air, guardians unite. We are W.I.T.C.H.
Good morning, everybody. This is Mavis Vermillion, and welcome back to another review on the Halloween special. In this episode, we will be reviewing W.I.T.C.H. Episode 49, W is for Witch. Now then, let's...
get this party started!
Ah, spoiler alert!
In the prison on Meridian, W.I.T.C.H. was furious that Caleb and Will wanted to release more prisoners. Caleb replied that with Nerissa being more powerful, protecting Phobos is imperative. Although Raithor is pledged his allegiance and willingness to protect him from Phobos, choosing to forgive Miranda and Cedric's past transgressions, returning them to normal size due to their mystic might. However, he warned them that this was their last chance to redeem themselves. When W.I.T.C.H. expressed further displeasure, Phobos smugly reminded him that he is the universe's last chance. Lillian was running around the Hales' apartment looking for Napoleon as she needed him to complete her witch costume to go trick-or-treating. Elizabeth Hale assured her she looked like a witch, and that taking Napoleon out at night would not be safe. Cornelia was in her room getting ready when Napoleon jumped out from her on a wardrobe, knocking over some nail polish, staining some of her hair pink. Cornelia was outraged, but Napoleon was terrified of the specific witch this Halloween, Nerissa. Irma was on the phone to Haylin discussing plans to go to the Halloween carnival that evening when Chris bursted in wearing a ninja costume. After messing up her room, Chris begged Irma to go trick-or-treating and put on her costume. Irma replied that trick-or-treating is for babies, causing Haylin to retort Andrew Hornby. When their mother heard the commotion, Irma stated that she's too mature to go trick-or-treating, to which her mother replied that she doesn't have to dress up, but she does have to take Chris or she'll have to stay home. As Haylin was trying to make her feel better, Cornelia joined the call and ordered to inform them that they have to come over right now. When Irma arrived, she dumped Chris with Lillian watching TV. She remarked again that she is too old to go beg for candy. Cornelia replied Andrew Hornby. All of the Guardians Phobos and Regents of Earth, Caleb, and now Cedric and Miranda were gathered in Cornelia's bedroom, pleasing Napoleon as due to it being Halloween, he was going to be targeted by Nerissa, as by killing him. She could take the heart of Earth without permission. When Phobos expressed confusion, Napoleon said that he had to protect him as he couldn't transform until midnight. Will then decided that due to Nerissa's desire to gain more power but fear of Phobos, it was a perfect opportunity to lure her to take her seal. As the Black Cat reluctantly agreed, Chris and Lillian bursted in and Lillian begged her sister to let her go trick-or-treating with the Lairs. Although she wanted to stay, Cornelia told Irma that she thought they had enough players to manage without her. After Terranine mocked Irma with yet another comment about Andrew. Halen reminded her that she'll get free candy, prompting Blanc, also present, to find a costume so he could come too. This, in turn, caused the Guardians to put on their costumes, their Guardian forms, which were presented to Elizabeth, resulting in a comment on the padding, which is just the more mature forms the Guardians take. When Chris remarked on her costume, Irma said it was a disguise, alluding to her humiliation and frustration on the way out. Halen reminded her that they will meet her at the carnival. Napoleon then asked Will what the plan was, to which she replied that it needed a place to trap Nerissa. Cedric knew just the place. Witch and their allies were crossing the street and arrived at Cedric's former bookstore, where they remarked on their history regarding it. Once inside, Will went over the plan after Napoleon revealed that Nerissa could track him. Phobos will grant the seal whilst the others act as backup. Subsequently, Matt, Huggles, Miranda, and Cedric transformed into something a bit more comfortable. In following this, Cornelia remarked on their lack of stealth, so Phobos glamoured himself and Will into elderly mortals whilst transforming the rest of the team into bookcases. Cornelia jabbed that it was so not what I had in mind. With Irma and Chris, Blanc was attempting to treat or trick, but he merely attempted to grab all the candy, causing Chris to explain that only one is allowed and gave each of them one lollipop, calling Blanc a smelly kid and causing Blanc to jump with joy that his disguise was believed. As they moved on to the next house, Chris revealed his strategy to Lillian of pretending to be orphans, who was impressed. Irma, however, was enraged, reminding him that it was her strategy and the key is to not have a bag full of candy, cute factor, and a convincing story. At the next house, Irma told a story of a sick sibling, resulting in her obtaining a substantial amount of candy. At the bookstore, Napoleon bemoaned his status as bait, only to spot a female cat nearby. When he tried to flirt, her eyes began to glow with electricity as they both dived into the bookstore, where the other cat turned into Nerissa. Nerissa started to attack Napoleon, freezing him to the floor. In response, Will urged Phobos to take the seal, but he said he was waiting for his moment. Napoleon narrowly escaped by being burnt by Nerissa's flames and jumped, landing with claws out on a bookcase, which turned out to be a glamoured Cornelia. When she exclaimed in pain, Nerissa realized she was within a trap. Nerissa then used her powers to deglamour our heroes. Terrified, Napoleon fled out the window whilst Will attempted to distract Nerissa with a ball of electricity, but stopped it in midair. When Nerissa attempts to follow the black cat, Cornelia telekinetically blocked her way with some books while Tyranny and Matt fired blasts at her. In response, Nerissa teletransported away. After her departure, Will berated Phobos for not acting well in turn. He called her a plan a failure and suggested that they started to find Napoleon. Irma, meanwhile, surveyed what the others have retrieved using her strategy, including Blanc's mothballs. Lillian rang the bell at the next house, and the owner refused to give them candy, and Irma was furious. Used her mind control powers to get him to give her all of his candy, and as she placed a whole sack out. Chris said Irma is the coolest, and they planned to go to the next house. And Irma heard her name, and it was Andrew Hornby, dressed up as a pirate. Irma was surprised that he had told the school that trick-or-treating was for babies, revealing why Irma did not want to go and why everyone kept referencing Andrew Hornby. However, he said it was cool and he loves it, and that he hoped to see Irma later at the carnival. Meanwhile, the rest of the Guardians were at the carnival looking for Napoleon, as he knew to meet there. Martin Tubbs was enthralled by their costumes, taking a photo of Miranda and attempting to figure out how many people are in the snake suit, narrowly missing being torn apart by Cedric, and when Halen saved him, distracting him with candy. On center stage, Principal Knickerbocker announced that Halloween skits were about to begin, prompting Martin's departure. Cornelia spotted Napoleon as a prize at a carnival game. Caleb had to throw a ball in a vase, but he missed and Cornelia encouraged him to try again. When she used her telekinesis to make the ball go in the vase, winning Napoleon, Cedric, growing exasperated, questioned how long they must endure this foolishness. Phobos quelled him by telling him good things come to those who wait. Irma turned up, saying it was easy to find him because of Cedric, reassuring them that Lillian was safe at home, and she actually had fun with her and Chris, showing the girls their candy haul. Irma's mind changed and she was excited about next year's Halloween due to the hot Buccaneer. At 11:55, Nerissa suddenly appeared, shooting lightning at Napoleon. Principal Knickerbocker demanded an explanation, and Irma said the fight was a Halloween skit. Napoleon, meanwhile, escaped from Nerissa up a tree, trembling with fear. Nerissa used Kadma's powers to ensnare him in vines. Just as Nerissa was about to catch him, Matt blasted him free, taking off with him in his arms. In response, Nerissa covered his body in vines, causing him to fall. Napoleon freed again with Nerissa in hot pursuit. However, Huggles dived at her, struggling with her right in front of Phobos. When Will urged him to take the seal, he refused, and the realization dawned on the Guardian leader that he wanted to wait until Nerissa killed Napoleon so he could have a triple power. Upon calling him a jerk, Cedric wrapped her upside down in his tail, saying he waited a long time for this. So, however, struggling, you might have noticed that the Quintessence Guardian told him to keep waiting, shocking him painfully and forcing him to release her. While this was all going on, Nerissa shocked Kor, freeing herself. As she planned her next attack, the other Guardians launched an onslaught with Halen, Tyranny, and Irma shooting beams of their elements at her, while Martin marveled at their special effects and motorized wings, and Cornelia summoned vines upwards at her direction. Seeing this, Nerissa transported away, and Will arrived, revealing Phobos' plans, though the other Guardians were not surprised. When Napoleon hid in a pumpkin, Nerissa tried to blast him, but at the last second something knocked her seal, knocking down the pile and scattering them. She turned only for Caleb to taunt, "Did I win a prize, Ma?" and throw additional balls from the carnival at her. Nerissa responded by blasting him and flung for the lightning bolt. As they escaped, Will threw her own lightning bolt and Irma caused water to appear inside, planning to severely shock the sorceress. Unable to flee, Nerissa summoned a tornado around her to repel it and send the Guardians flying, and she dived to the left. Nerissa grabbed Napoleon and landed on the stage as she taunted one last time. Napoleon revealed himself in safety in Matt's arms. As the clock struck midnight, the cat Nerissa was holding transforms back into Phobos. Nerissa looked shocked and terrified, and Phobos pulled her into the seal, and the mage ring appeared on his finger. As the Guardians celebrated a happy ending, Will retorted that Phobos wouldn't allow that. Phobos declared a new age, the age of Phobos, as the clueless crowd cheered for him, unaware of the danger they now faced.
Did you know that?
Every second season episode has a clear focus on one of the 5 main characters. This episode is one of the 5 in this season to focus on Irma Lair. Irma mentioned saving the world every week, right in front of Chris and Lillian. Yet neither of them questioned it or brought it up later. Similarly, Napoleon started talking to Will about the plan when Cornelia's mother was sitting there reading right in front of their line of sight a few moments ago. This continues a pattern in the series, seen more obviously in episodes like The Seal of Phobos, where the speaker is literally yelling, in which if a character is not in a scene, or sometimes even simply out of the focus, like in the first example here, the narrative seems to assume that they are too far away to hear the conversation. The episode seemingly shows that a Quinto Guardian, as Nerissa was by this point, can summon the earth element from nowhere, as she showed when she covered Matt in vines. Phobos later showed the same ability. However, it could be the power to seal to conjure rather than the combination of elemental abilities.
Now you know!
Overall, it was a fantastic episode to see Irma getting focused on it. Also, we're actually just very pleased about it. And this episode's rating is a 6 out of 10. Next time... Thank you for watching. What do you think? If you appreciate the content, please be sure to super smash that like button and be sure to subscribe to our channel. And please be sure to follow us on Instagram or my DeviantArt. And don't forget to leave a comment because we really accept kind thoughts. But we here do not allow any trolls or hurtful words or any other terrible meanings necessary allowed. Otherwise, Ren Hoeing from Comedy Central's The Ren and Stimpy Show will hunt you down until the ends of Earth. Keep that in mind. Be sure to subscribe to our channels and click the notification bell. You'll never go to miss a video the second it goes live on YouTube and Google. With that being said, thanks for watching and I'll see you all next time. Have a nice day!